Let's fucking get it, boys! Let's get it! Ah! What is up, you huge noobs? Noobscape coming back at you. I figured today I'd try something new. I'm going to critique my own Inferno Justiciar run. This is a successful run all the way through Jad. All the way through Zuck, my bad. And I'm going to show you how even a noob such as myself uses Justiciar just to get their Inferno cape. I know you might be saying, hey, like I'm struggling to get through the waves, like I'm struggling to consistently get to Zuck. Well, I'm going to show you, I've been critiquing you guys on all your clips on how you can better get to Zuck, and I've been trying to show you all the tactics, but it's kind of hard to show not without me showing myself first. So I'm going to do this Inferno coaching series guide on myself on a successful run. That way you guys can see with your own eyes how I do it and how I make it possible. And speaking of Inferno coaching guides, I'm actually at a shortage of clips. I need more people to submit their clips. Thank you those who all that have. And this is a little tactic too about how you can barrage that nibbler just from running all the way down to the south, which I didn't even notice until after I got my Inferno cape, but just wanted to point that out. But if any people could submit their guides, or submit their attempts, that would be absolutely amazing. I'll review more of those as much as I can, but for the time being, I'm going to show you a successful run myself, that way you guys can learn from it. So this next wave is going to be, I'm just going to fast forward to the tougher waves. This next wave is going to be one of the tougher, and I'm going to pause here for a second. This is one of the tougher waves before you actually get to the major. And before the rounds where the mages are spawning, you always want to start by praying range. And there's no need to have any Justiciar on before the mages pop out. You're really not using Justiciar until the mage waves. And even then, you're not starting to the initial mage attack until like the ranger and major are both spawning. But if you notice here, like all you want to do is, in this situation, I was originally being pressed by both the blobs and the ranger. I'm just going to pray range, and since I know my magic defense is already really high, it's unlikely these blobs are going to hit me. And the only reason why I did this transition is because I wanted to prevent myself from getting hit from the blob and the ranger, because I can't flick both at the same time. So this side's easier at the moment because I could just DPS the blob where the melee can't hit me, and now I could just blood barrage these three and get some HP back before I could kill the melee, and then this is an easy solve. But one of the mistakes people are making too much that when I'm reviewing the gameplay is, if you look at the inventory, like my Justiciar in my inventory, it really doesn't come out until the majors come out, or I'm in like a really sticky situation needing a tank or run or something, but that's just not likely until the mages spawn and you have to pray mage. For the time being, just pray range, and your magic defense is already high with the Armadillo. You don't really have to worry about these waves. When the mages do spawn like this, just keep her cool. In this situation, you're going to get hit by 2 blobs with range. Don't even worry about it. You don't need full Justiciar just to tank 2 blobs on 99 HP. Even if they hit you twice in a row, it's not going to KO you. Another thing I want to point out, I'm going to rewind here 10 seconds, and rewind another 10 seconds. Look at how fast I actually get behind the pillar. It's barrage, and then immediately the second I cast, I'm already there. It gives me time to see, okay, do I need one more cast? Can I just lure all of them here? And it's the same thing. In this case, I could actually flick, because I know the mage is only going to hit me once, so I could flick the range for the blobs, because that's the second thing they would see, and I could just repeatedly do that while barraging this one. It's important that I get this last nibbler before it actually makes it to that pillar, to keep this pillar high. And at a lower enough wave like this, where you're still 99 HP, one of the things is you can play a little bit more risky being like 99 or over HP. When you get hit once or twice, then you got to start playing conservative. But especially on the lower waves when it's not ranger and major yet, when you're 99 HP, you go for those nibblers. You get hit once or twice, then you might need to back off. In this situation, majors are still spawning, and if you notice, I always equip my ice barrage. And this is actually a really good example of how I conserve prayer. I'm rewind 10 seconds. This happens so fast, it's really hard for me to comment real time over. I know some of you guys say in the comments, pause less, believe me, I'm trying, but when my actions are boom, 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 it's hard to show you what I'm doing in a newbie manner. You gotta remember, this channel's for noobs. I've always stayed true to that ever since a year ago when I created this channel. I'm here for the noobs. I'm gonna explain this in a very newbie way possible. So I pray mage. I forgot to switch this back to blood barrage, which is maybe a mistake on my end. This could have led to a mistake, but I'm always usually cool, and I'm quick enough able to switch it back to ice barrage. So I switch it back to ice barrage, and then if you notice, my pray mage is still on. There's a 1 tick delay of autocast in between when you click and when it casts. You can still flick augury that after you attack these without it on. If you flick it on quick enough, it works. and my experience drop on the top right corner is going to be blue if I hit it correctly. So I hit the barrage, and then the next tick, the augury comes on, and you see how I still didn't get that experience drop? The experience drop highlighted blue, which means I got that augury, and look, it's already off. That's just a really, I know it almost seemed like insanely quick prayer flicking, but this little this little trick, on the initial hit, if you're getting hit by ranger or something, it increases your defense, but it also increases your attack on killing those nibblers, and that's something I don't see people doing enough. In addition to that, also to increase your chances of killing these nibblers in 1 or 2 barrages, don't put Justiciar on until ranger and major both spawn. Then it's more important, but for the time being, it's like when you see the nibblers, you can just easily on off augury, and then look at me, I'm going to immediately run behind, because I know that, or actually in this case I know I just had one more hit, but in this case I want to get this major close to me, because I can't DPS all the way out there. So then this is an easy solve, because I was able to kill those nibblers quick on the right side with augury, and I didn't have my Justiciar on because I wasn't taking any damage. It's like just something you need to evaluate. Are you taking damage? No, just don't put your Justiciar on. It's a very important tool, but you gotta remember it's only a tool. It's only gonna do so much for you, and then you're just easily able to isolate the waves. I mean, in this case, yeah, you could have taken out that mage first, and then it wouldn't have maybe resurrected the bat or the major Melior. But the bottom line is, the most simple solution that's going to get you to Zuck more times is going to be the safest. So sometimes the safest takes longer, but it's worth it in the long run, because it will make you mess up a little bit less. This wave kind of shows the advantage that starting on this right side of the pillar has, because I was able to kind of not worry about the melee right away, and I always kill these. Some people say they have trouble killing the nibblers. I've never really had an issue. It's the setup I used in my Inferno guide part 1. I'll link that in the description. It's very easy to kill these nibblers just by freaking augury, 1 hit, 2 hit, I don't know, but I actually didn't pray mage on that first hit, or if I did, I wasn't paying attention. But I want to show everyone, this is how I do the pillar solves. It's just 1 hit, run back, and switch prayer. And sometimes I flick them on and off like that, and then back on, and I could 1-tick them. But you don't need to 1-tick them. It may use a little bit more prayer than the 1-tick flicking outside, just standing here and switching back and forth. But I feel like this is just the most simple, easy way, and it works every time getting the Zuck. I've never had an issue using this way. So this next wave, I'm going to run into some trouble. I'm getting towards the higher waves. I'm getting to wave 46, and we all know wave 50 is the ranger major combo. The waves just before wave 50 are also difficult, because you're facing a bunch of blobs, a bunch of bats, and a melee or 2. So this is one of those examples. So I'm just going to break this down what's happening. The melee is safe spotted on the left side. The ranger is far away, so we know we're going to have to get some sort of safe spot, because the bat, and the blob are all kind of in our way. And this is my method of thinking. Can I go to this safe spot? The answer is not really, because the Melior is going to be an issue, and I can't even DPS the blob over there. The blob has to spawn over here for you to drag it by stepping in this left corner. But so I wouldn't be able to tank both. So the best situation is I'll probably put on Prey melee, and then just blow pipe the Melior to death. That isn't the best situation. So in this sort of situation, I hate going to this pillar, and it's not good because you got the blob there and the mage is still an issue. I'm looking to run pillars but the thing is I need to DPS these nibblers first. So I hit a 39, which means that I'm lucky I still have 1 more barrage. So I'm going to hit it, because you see I'm still 91 HP. I'm only really getting hit by the bat and the blob. So in the lower waves, again before 50, very important to kill that one. So do get hit by either the blob or the bat. I don't know. At this point, you see the Justiciar comes into effect, because I'm not wearing it. So I didn't need it here. I didn't need it here because I'm 99 HP. The real threat, the ranger, is not out. So 99 HP, I don't really need the Justiciar. I need to kill these nibblers. The priority here is killing the nibblers, because if I don't kill the nibblers fast enough, I'll take more damage trying to kill the nibblers. So in that sense, it's not important. So once I kill them, though, that's when, since I pray mage, the Justiciar is coming on, and I'm running. See, go to my inventory, Justiciar's on. I took an unlucky hit before that, but I run behind this pillar, and I realized that I was like, oh, hey, maybe I could just stay here and stay spot the mage, but that's just not the best idea. So this is one of those situations where you may want to be flicking rigor to kill that mage, but I realized that I'm not going to have enough time anyway, because he wasn't able to hit me before I ran over, so he's going to dig quick anyway. So this is how you transition a pillar properly. I've seen so many people mess this up. The melee safe spots are right where I'm standing, and then this middle one back from the pillar, and then this middle one back from the pillar. If you're not standing in these melee safe spots, you'll get absolutely nailed by one of these meteors by accident. In this situation, I only basically just ignore the bat and just flick the blob probably, and just DPS down the bat first at its lowest HP, and then worry about the blob or melee, either one really. But I would, like, looking at this, I would probably go for the blob. But I choose the melee, but really not a bad as long as I keep on flicking correctly. But sticky situations come from really, and I've noticed a lot of people have issues when they decide to transition pillars on, like, are they going to be DPSing nibblers too much? Are they going the correct safe spot? See, that actually would have been really bad if I went to this safe spot, because that's within melee range of that mage, because I wasn't originally in here. It kind of like got lured around. And in this situation, yeah, probably taking out the melee is the best, that way I don't have to keep on annoyingly running back and forth. Oh, but I choose to take out the mage first. But the thing is, it's whatever you're comfortable with. Like, I always coach you guys, and I'm strict because, I'm tough because I want you guys to learn. But it's always about what's comfortable for you. Sometimes things work better for other people, and I think it was freaking rigor that's why I killed it so quick. And then it's also very important, 42 HP. I never want to start a wave, no matter what it is, at not 99 HP. Like, I can't be bothered. I'll always be 99 HP. You don't want to risk that, especially once the majors start spawning. And this is a tough wave. I'm gonna fast forward through this a little bit, because we are gonna get to the range majors really soon, and the next wave is also gonna be a tough one, because it's gonna have a bat, or, yeah, I thought it was gonna have 2 blobs, but it's not there yet. So this is the spawn, and you notice that the nibblers are split. Oh, but I actually got the 40 barrage. So this is an insta kill at this moment. Hey, like, I'm good. I got the insta kill. So immediately, since your first priority was killing the nibblers, your next priority, which really is also your first, is getting to this safe spot. This safe spot is insane, because these two will be safe spotted by, like, dragging them around to this side. This bat's going to be safe spotted, and then this bat's going to be preventing the melee from coming around. So once I know I got the kill, it's safe spot immediately. And notice how it stays on prey mage until I know for a fact that this mage can't see me. And then it goes to the appropriate prayer. I don't need Justiciar again, because I was never on the threat of taking damage. Again, one of the main contributors is that the ranger's not out. So again, I want to stress, Justiciar is very important, but it is not very important until the ranger and major are both out, because you only want to be using Justiciar when you're under the threat of taking a lot of damage. You guys came here to see newbie solves that just work. This is a perfect example of a newbie solve. This one kind of sucks, because the mage is over here on this left side. You got to stay in between these 3 tiles to keep that mage safe spotted. So I would be flicking between the 2 blobs, but I have to kind of run all the way over here to reach one. But if I run all the way over here to reach one, this melee is not going to be safe spotted in here. So my best bet is staying in this corner, and I'll show you what I do. But I got a nice 40 barrage on the nibblers, which is an insta kill. And I could have had the choice of either, like, T-bowing these, or maybe running a blowpiping one. In this situation, actually, this pillar might not be bad. I hate telling people to go here, because I just don't like doing it. But the mage, the only time I would ever go to this pillar on the right side is when the mage is stuck, or like a huge threat. Specifically, the mage is stuck on this side, because when you run over here, these will be all dragged down here one at a time. But in this situation, I choose to run over here to this safe spot. And now I say this is a newbie solve because it's easy. Because all I do is I take out my Armadillo, and I don't really need Justiciar here, because I'm only tanking 1 blob. I'm just going to flick rigor, and I'm going to see if I could kill this mage before that melee digs. So it's a newbie one, I say, because I'm basically just, I have 99 HP. You got to remember, a lot of decisions are based off how much HP you currently have. I have 99, so I could take 2-3 hits from that blob and still be okay. And then I just wait for the melee to dig to me. I go to the next melee spot where I'm safe from these 2, and then now it's just the blobs, where I could basically take 1 out, maybe 2 out. Or in this case, since the blobs are, sorry for that motorcycle, but since the blobs are like a similar enough tick, no, these are the same tick. I could flick these and just kill the melee, which is like the most annoying thing, and I'll just continue to flick these and take out the blob. And this is like a newbie way of just isolating one at a time, maybe tanking a few hits here and there from like 1 or 2 very isolated minions, and it's just like a very simple newbie solve. Yeah, did I tank some damage? Yes. Did I prayer flick? No. But it's my method. Like, this is Justiciar Inferno cape for you. And if you notice, I haven't really used that much Justiciar yet, but I will be showing you a lot of Justiciar in the next few waves, because it's waves 48 and the Rangers are about to come out. This is an example of doing a little running. If you notice, these waves I'm pretty much holding augury, and I have my Justiciar bottoms on because at this point the Ranger, Blob, and Range are coming in, so it's like I'm stuck praying Mage, so I'm taking damage potentially from all three of these at the start, and I do take damage from two and then run into a third. But this is why augury is important, because the defense, the Justiciar, just the bottom is important. You keep your top on Ancestral for at least the first hit, and then maybe think about putting on the chest and doing some other stuff. Originally here, my decision was after I barraged Nibblers once, I really wanted to go to this safe spot, but I can't because I have three all on the right side that can't be drugged, so I have to come over here and face the bat. And I got nice and lucky that since this is, I mean, it's not really lucky, it's also strategy. I don't have the Justiciar top on and I pray augury, so I'm a lot more likely to kill those Nibblers right off the rip. And then I just immediately transitioned with, I think, partial, or if not all, yeah, I only had partial Justiciar there, but it's like I only took 1 to 2 hits of range, and I still have 58 HP, so I'm fine right here. So I didn't necessarily need the full Justiciar, but the legs definitely did help. And I should be careful there. I should have right-clicked that bat as I did that second time because it drugged me in an unsafe spot. And I should be blood barraging here, potentially SGS specking the minions that are going to spawn from that blob, because I always want to make sure my HP is 100%. And then also I want to show you, in my guide I was actually wrong. I only told you guys that the safe spots work north to south. I'm pretty sure in this next class I show that they also work east to west. The reason being is you only really need to have one of these two minions, so you would tick later. And I guess you could consider that manually off-ticking them, but I'm a noob. I don't really know too much about those terms. All I'm saying is I tested the waters out a little bit. I think I ended up running like up and down a little bit, and I noticed that there's like a delay in between when the two minions kind of like walk side to side, and that's when you know you can do a pillar stack solve. So that's actually what I'm going to do here, and I choose to blood barrage the back ranger because the ranger doesn't have that high of mage level, so I could DPS that range and get my HP back up. I think that's the best decision here because you obviously aren't going to do much damage on the major. And I actually missed the prayer flick there. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just like had to pause for a second there because I was so curious. But yeah, so you pray from the range first, and then you switch to pray magic. I think actually what I was doing there was testing the water with Justiciar on to see if it was even possible, and that when I noticed it is, that they do attack different ticks. It's first range, then mage right now. I realized that, like, hey, it's possible. So I'm blood barraging now without Justiciar on because I'm confident enough, but I used the Justiciar first just to test the water. This next wave is a good example of using a safe spot. I didn't even know when I actually got the Justiciar cape, or my bad, the Inferno cape. I got a 37 barrage there, so it's not an instant kill, but you see exactly how quickly I'm running. I only have the Justiciar bottoms on with Pray Augury, which again boosts my defense. I can't stress how important that is. 99 HP, I could take one hit of range. I don't even think it hits me because it was too far away. But it's like, I'll go back 10 seconds. Look how, I can't stress you, it is important that you are this fast on these waves, the higher waves where you're risking taking a lot of damage really quick. It's hit, and the second you see that experience drop, you're running. That range didn't even attack me because I was quick enough to get out of the way. And now this is an amazing safe spot here because I just need one more hit on one of those nibblers. I can move to this left safe spot and drag that Melior within my T-bow range. And if you're using ACB, you could blood barrage that, or I think maybe even long range may hit, but you could don't trust me on that one. You might have to check that yourself. And then the bat itself is an easy solve, but it's very important. Just go down 2 to 3 spots. You can actually still see and blood barrage those nibblers. You don't actually need to step out and tank more hits. And you see here, I'm just praying mage because I'm forced because of that mage minion. And I think actually because I was late, I'm getting hit by that bat too. But again, look at my HP, 43. I'm fine. I could take a hit or two. I don't even need Justiciar here, and I'm gonna go for the blood barrage because I do actually need some HP back. And I'm taking hits here, but like this isn't a huge threat. I'm really only gonna hit by 2 rangers right now, and they're really not that oppressive. And then obviously we all know after this is an easy solve because all I need to do is just kill this one, kill the bat, and then the major I want to show you when I go to this spot and I drag it towards me. It's a very important thing to know. Like this saves you like the risk of you having to switch pillars just to draw that major in. And obviously switching pillars isn't fun. I've seen so many people mess it up. I've messed it up myself. And if you're a noob like me, look, it's already within range just because I stepped to the side. I was actually luring the bat in, but it also lured the major in T-bow range. And then this is an easy solve from here. So now we're getting at the later waves. This is the Justiciar legs on, a little bit late on equipping that blood barrage, and I didn't actually get Augury on fast enough because I was a little bit late. This is 26 experience drop, so this is going to be some issues because I'm going to have to go a little bit down farther to get one while being attacked by that range. And that mage, although it can't like see me when I go behind here immediately, it will eventually make its way around. So I'll switch to range here while... oh, actually, this is actually an insane noticing this by me. That mage can't see me because these two blobs are in the way. I didn't even need to switch the mage there, but it still works. And now the major has made its way around, so I can't go back to that safe spot and be safe. So this right here, I noticed, and this is what you guys really need to do in your method of thinking about the Inferno. The mage is over here, but like this sucks because I am not a man of flicking. I'm not able to flick two blobs at the same time. I'm trying to kill a ranger. So this is when we go pray mage, Justiciar comes on, and you switch pillars. And look at all this damage I'm taking, and I don't even get hit once. And then I switch back to mage in case those blobs would have hit me. And I notice, I'm gonna have to choose a side I'm pausing because so many people don't get this. When meteors are coming down the side, you need to be one spot back. When it's rangers or majors or like a range minion coming down the side, you need to be right up against that pillar. And since I'm right up against this left side, this left one can't attack me. If I'll be right up against the right side, this mage wouldn't be able to attack me. But it's more important to kill the mage first, which is why I chose to stand on this left side. That's a calculated where I'm standing. That's not just by accident. And then now it's an easier solve. And this was all made possible because Justiciar allowed me to transition the pillars on a higher HP where I know I didn't need a brew, and I know I was pretty much fine because I was wearing Justiciar. I'm not going to get hit by, like 80 HP, like boom, 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 boom. Like Justiciar is so, every single time you go to switch pillars, when the mage is out, put Justiciar on. But if you're starting off the wave, you only need to have the legs on. You don't really need to have that chest on. This is another later wave, wave 57, where I notice I get a 26 barrage. And at this point, I take off my augury so I could just put it back on and flick. And it's really important you're doing this method of, I know I can, it's still frozen, so I only really need to run like 2 squares out. My Justiciar legs are on, and that's important because I am going to be potentially trying to tank the ranger. But the ancestral top gives me enough magic bonus to be confident that I am going to hit it. So I could just one hit and run back. And one hit and run back, and that's really important because I'm minimizing the attacks that I'm taking per the attacks that I'm doing by running back and forth because the Kodai is slower than the rate that they attack. So now that I killed the nibblers, that's my first. So I know I say don't prioritize the nibblers on a late wave, but if you can prioritize the nibblers in a safe way, do it. I prioritized the nibblers here in a safe way because since the melee was segregated, the mage was attacking me. I only need to tank one ranger hit, and again, 90 HP, 99 HP. I could be aggro. It's like if you ever played Overwatch and you're full HP and you're Reinhardt, you swing your hammer, and then you get low HP, you put up your shield, and you let your team heal you. Well, your shield's your Justiciar, and your healing's your brewing. You don't really necessarily want to be healing like if you can avoid it because you want to be saving those brews for later. Again, if you're learning, use it. But your shield's like the pillars and Justiciar, and you could be more aggro using less shields in Justiciar the higher HP you are. But when you get lower HP, that's when you need to start worrying about it. I wasn't in a case where I needed to be worrying, so I could be DPSing those nibblers, and that's like the difference between knowing when to prioritize the nibblers and when not to. This was a relatively safer experience, but obviously you can see from here you kill their Melior. I was just going to say, when SJS specs 100, I should be specking. So many people don't spec mid-wave. I usually like starting the wave at 50 spec. Some people like starting the wave at 0 spec. The reason why I like starting the wave at 50 spec is because if I ever get it to the case, that might be the case later on here. But if I'm transitioning pillars, and let's say the nibblers go to this far pillar, and I know I need at least one more hit on them, and I have Justiciar on, I'm running over there anyway, don't try to blood barrage that nibbler just with your Justiciar on. Put on your SGS, use your 50% SGS spec that's left, spec it, it's going to have a chance of killing it than using your Kodai because you don't have much mage bonus. And then on the bright side, you kill it and then you also regenerate your health and HP, or HP and prayer. And what people don't realize is even if that nibbler has 1 HP left, you spec it. You're not going to regenerate the minimum of 20 or what is it, 5 prayer, whatever HP, 10 HP, 5 prayer. Don't worry about it because it would have been off of what your max hit would have been calculated. So like even though it had 1 HP left, if it had 100 HP and you would have hit a 40, it'll regenerate your HP back as if you would have hit a 40. And now we got wave 58 here. Again, same method. Legs always on. Always praying augury. I hold it a little bit more on the later waves. I kind of just do the one tick flick on the earlier waves. Now it's later waves, I'm holding it. And I run immediately to the safe spot where I could reevaluate. It's easy if the nibblers come here because this is where you want to be. And if you notice, this is a great place to be because the mage ranger safe spotted. Melee is going to be safe spotted. I'm only taking 1 minion range, which is why now, since I was able to step to a safe spot, I reevaluated, switch my prayer range, which is another one of your priorities once you get into safe spot, prayer range. Now I'm not taking any damage. I could move all the way back here and still be able to attack these two nibblers and in a safe manner. And I'll show you how I do that. And because these are all within my range, and this one previously I would have just like SGS spec this, but you actually don't need to. And that was a really high XP drop because that melee got stuck in it. But this safe spot is amazing for killing these nibblers here. You don't need to poke out, and I'm just holding prayer range because I'm under no pressure here. And now it's going to be either the melee or the bat that I'm going to want to kill first. And this is a simpler solve because, again, since this ranger is pushed up towards the middle of the map, I could then run all the way to the side safe spot. I would probably pray melee here in this situation. Actually, pray mage to get him over there. That was interesting. I want to go back. Looking back on this, critiquing it, I should have been killing that ranger first. This is actually sticky because I hate doing these two. Although I'm high HP, in this situation, I probably would have just killed a bat and then maybe tried tanking the melee with Justiciar on because I really suck at prayer switching. But in this case, I chose to run over here with mage. And at this point, this is like a uh-oh. And I'm probably going to put Justiciar on here and probably run pillars, yeah. This is a good example of, like, I guess, staying calm when you take damage because it kind of messed it up. And, like, I want to show you these guys. Like, I got an Inferno cape, and I still messed it up. Even when I got my Inferno cape, I played imperfectly. No one plays perfectly. But I want to show you again. This is an important time of when you know to use Justiciar and also run an brew. I took a 30. I tried to switch safe spots, but I'm not any more safe. That melee didn't get stuck. So this is 25 HP at this point on one hit. You got a brew, and I immediately put Justiciar on and run. Crystal Shield's also important for the defense bonus here. And at 57 HP, at this point, the ranger can't one hit me. It's maxed it with Justiciar on. It isn't over 57. And even if it was, like, even if I was 10 HP and it was over 57, you can eat this. It's kind of easy to eat the range minions. The second you see the projectile actually traveling to you and you're 10 HP, just click the brew. It can't calculate over a 10 HP, and since you brewed, you'll be over what the 10 HP it would have hit anyway, so you'll always live. And now this actually really sucks. I thought that melee or major would have came down here, but this is an example of appropriately how to switch pillars. It got unlucky. Like, you notice there's so many hits here. I got hit by, I think I'll rewind it. I got hit by the melee there. I thought I'd be able to run across the safe spot fast enough, and I thought that major would come down, but you gotta stay calm. It's so important to stay calm. I took one hit there, and I could have equipped Justiciar here, but my priority was making sure I was mage prayed and running. Whenever the melee minion, say I want to run on this left side, the way the safe spots work is that if I want to run left and I'm standing all the way on the right, I'm free to do this because this melee won't go sideways enough to come around the pillar. It'll get stuck on the side that I'm currently on. As you see, it did that there, but I just got unlucky with the one hit in between. But I got the range switch off in time, so now this is easy. You got to remember always when you brew down, you also need to restore back up so you have your back on. I always check that before I cast because you can get pulled out and just die for some stupid reason. And since I'm not able to DPS this melee enough, I'm in another sticky situation. This whole wave has been sticky, but it's very important that I chose to use my brews and I knew when to use my Justiciar. I almost had to switch pillars one more time because that melee was going to dig, and I would have had to probably just try to take out the mage if I could or DPS the melee. But at this point, it's pretty much solved. I can Blood Barrage and SGS back my HP all the way back to full, which is really important that you're doing. And then also this mage minion might respawn something that I could further heal off of. As I fast forwarded a little bit, I'm 72 HP right now, and you see it did res things. So this, you might be saying, oh, it takes so much time to escape. That's not fun. No one likes doing that. Yeah, but you want to be 99 HP, and you want to get that cape, so this isn't even that bad. And you notice here, by the end of this wave, I'm 99 HP starting this next one. I kind of fast forwarded through it really quick, but you could guess how I did it. And this next wave is amazing because since the major, yeah, I didn't get a kill here. And you see how much HP I have in these pillars? We have 59. I only have like a few more waves I even need these pillars. This is what you want to be seeing. These aren't that high of a priority right now, but since the mage is safe spotted, the melee can't get to me. That's why I switched to pray range, and that's so important. And you notice I'm probably going to go to my inventory and take off my Justiciar legs since I am pretty much safe from everything by praying range. and I could just take my time, kill all these before the Melior digs to me. And even when the Melior digs to me, it won't be that big of a deal. Let's see what I do here, but you notice the first priority was making sure that those nibblers died, just because I could pray range and I was safe along the side. You notice my Justiciar comes off as I'm just DPSing this one. And in this case, what I could do is I force the melee over here, and then I switch spots and take off the range. So this is so important. So many people don't understand how I'm not taking any damage here. I'll pause it. So the ranger, I know it's digging now, so I'm like, okay, the ranger already attacked, it's too late to go now. The next time the ranger attacks, I'm just going to go mage and run. So that's what I wait. Right there, it attacks, so I actually choose to run first because there's a 1 tick delay in between when it sees me. And I'm confident enough that, boom, I'm able to do that 1 tick switch to range. You can do the way I described first or the way I just showed, but you have to be quick either way you do it because you only have like 1 to 2 ticks to react. And I was able to react fast enough to switch and then just focus on the mage or melee because I don't want to have to switch more than once, really. It's just a hassle. I'm not that great at it, but taking out this melee now is also a better choice because I can blood barrage it because it has less mage attack, which means that it's more susceptible to mage damage, getting my HP back up to 99 before I'm focusing on taking out the major now, and this wave solved. It all started because I was able to recognize that the most dangerous threat was over here, switching my prey to range. I didn't need Justiciar for this wave, so I was just able to run up and down the sides and DPS the mage down and basically solve the wave from there. So now we're on wave 60. They're getting tough now. So what we have is, this is really tough because I got a melee here, a ranger here, a blob here, all big threats. And I didn't land an instant kill on those nibblers, but not a big deal because I could just run in the back of here and kill those nibblers because they're all frozen. The mage is a big threat right now, so I can't switch to range until I get all the way over here. But then I also have to deal with the melee. I could be freezing the melee, but I don't think I would choose to do so in this situation since there's so much crap going on. If you notice, I splashed anyway, and at this point, this is where Justiciar becomes so useful. I'm going to be barraging that one, and since I'm 99 HP, I actually didn't have full Justiciar on that entire time, actually. And the reason why is I was 99 HP, and I just wanted to get that one more kill. I'm going to just watch this one more time now that we exactly know what happens to kind of walk you through it. Didn't get the kill. Go to a safe spot. Try to get the one freeze. Didn't get it. So I go 99 HP. I just got the legs on. I got Augury on. You know, I could take one hit. I'm 99. I'm good. So I get it. I get the kill. So I'm like, sweet. Let's just pray melee. Who cares about the blob? Let's just range this guy down. And then we're going to run into the next issue. This blob's too far away. I can't reach it. So I'm going to have to switch pillars and pray mage. And honestly, I don't even care about, avoiding the damage from that. It's going to hit me range. I don't even care. It's just, again, 92 HP. 22 to me means nothing. I could kill the mage first, probably the whole way down, and then continue on. And I know I was hyper aggressive again with those nibblers, but you got to think 99 HP. I have the Justiciar bottoms on with the Ancestral or Augury on. I could risk one hit on those nibblers, just poking out once real quick, just to try to kill it. That way, it makes it a lot easier for me later in the wave. Now I can just relax, kill all of them. I still have 70 HP. I don't even need to barrage this until the Melior digs to me. But this is where you can flick Augury to kill that mage a little bit quicker. But this overall is completely fine. The mage dies. We'll fast forward it. You could dodge the Meliors. It's no brainer from here, and make sure you're using those SGS backs. And then the next wave here. So this is the tough one, wave 61. Again, you notice immediately I see the mages over here, so it's prey range, and then this is free because the Melior is safe spotted. That's why I love starting from here so much. It gives you so much view to attack the nibblers wherever they go. Any Meliors are safe spotted, and then anything on the left spot safe spotted. And since it happens to be the mage, the most dangerous one, it's prey range, and this is easy. You notice nothing of the Justiciar's on the inventory on the right side because I'm just able to prey range, and then everything's safe. Oh, okay, I'm getting hit a little bit from a mage attack from a blob, but again, my Armadil's on high mage defense. Since I'm not praying mage, but my mage defense is high, it's just not that likely to hit me. I just T-bow that bat real quick because it was out of my range. I didn't want to get pulled, and then now I can just damage everything while praying range. Run all the way along this side. I'm just gonna keep on taking this blob on mage. And again, Armadil or Justiciar shouldn't be on if you're just willing to take that mage damage. Your Justiciar only comes on when you're praying mage. And then this is okay. I hate telling people to come here, but you're seeing footage of me coming here. This is me, like maybe even on the stream, you saw my cursor. Like, I'm sorry, I have the same two cursors. The guy in the comment that told me to switch it, I don't know how to switch my cursor. I'm probably telling him, oh, like I hate coming here, but you know what, it worked because then again, I only ever come here when the mage is safe spotted on this left side, and I could isolate something down here. This is an easy solve from here. Now we're making our way up to 62. It's the same thing every single wave. You notice the consistency here, and that's what's important in Inferno. Some guy was reviewing, he did a special method of sometimes starting from here, sometimes starting from there, sometimes starting in the middle, sometimes starting, in left field. But I always start from the same spot. My Justiciar legs are always on. It's always Ancestral top. It's always Prey Mage, Augury, one hit, boom, safe spot. And in this case, I didn't get the kill because I only dropped to 34. I'm switching here. I didn't even look this far in the thing, but like my immediate instinct is really bad. Bad, can't say spot, bad, blah, it sucks, bad. We're moving, we're using Justiciar. You'll see it right here. It's Prey Mage, or it's Prey melee, and I'm actually going to try to DPS this down because I have 99 HP. I mean, I play a little bit risky. Okay, now we're 68, so this is where, since the melee's low, did I risk keep on going. And 53. If I was the one reviewing this, yeah, I'm saying GTFO on out of here. But I'm switching pillars, and it works too. I noticed that there's a nibbler, but I guess this is a really good demonstration of, I chose here. I said, hey, this is a really dangerous wave. There's only one nibbler out of the 3, which doesn't do that much DPS. If it was 3 out of 3, it's a different story, but I'm pausing here because I want to explain this. So important. Very, very high pillar HP because of how aggro I went on the healers on high HP on the lower waves. Now that's the higher waves, and I have medium HP, very dangerous spawn. I'm not going for this nibbler right away. I want to kill this range, honestly. I want to kill that bat. I want to kill that back, and then I'll run. And I'll try to regenerate a little bit health along the way because I am only 53. But yeah, okay. This is the Noobscape special. We're loaded, we're locked, and we're putting on our Justiciar because I'm speccing that one. I will then hit the bat down, and I'm probably going to go SGS spec the other one, to be honest with you. But no, I chose Kodai. I wanted to show the Noobscape special. If I really wanted to transition that pillar, I could have given it a Noobscape special, but I just chose the Barrage at once on the way over, which works too. I didn't really need Justiciar here. I don't even know if I had it on. I should have put it on, honestly. That's a mistake. If I was praying Mage, looking back on it, I would have prayed Mage, put the Justiciar on, SGS spec'd it, but in this case I chose to barrage it. But I mean, the logic is, since I'm barraging it, I had my Ancestral top and Armadillo legs on, that way I could get a more successful hit, but this works too. Okay, so now this is the most dangerous wave, wave 63. It's 2 blobs and then the works. And I call the works the mage range melee because this is just where people get worked. You can, on this wave and on a few waves before this one, put your Justiciar top on. Honestly, I don't. Like, for that first one hit, I think it's more worth it to guarantee that you're gonna have a much significantly higher chance with just the Armadillo on, or my bad, Ancestral top, of just killing the nibblers just right away and running away. I think that that's easier than having to deal with putting full Justiciar on and maybe having to barrage once or twice. And I only do this for the initial first hit. And you note these are split, so this is a runaway. And at this point, it's easy when the nibblers come here. Like, this is a pretty lucky spawn because everything's pretty much safe spotted on the top. I just have the mage isolated and everything came to me. But I'll show you, all you need to do is just kill the nibblers that are right there by stepping down. It's unfortunate that that bat saw me, but again, it's no big deal. I just keep on praying mage and take out that mage minion. And I didn't really need Justiciar here because I'm not transitioning pillars. On the initial hit, I mean, you can use full Justiciar if you want, but just be prepared. So I really didn't have an issue with the nibblers there. If you have full Justiciar on, you might run into an issue. So I just recommend for the first barrage, you have your Ancestral magic boosting top on, and then you just switch to full Justiciar and figure it out from there with safe spots. And now we'll run into the double meleers with a range mage on this next wave. And this is an example when they're running away and I only have 24 experience drop. I'm going for a second hit. Reason being I went for a second hit, 99 HP. Again, I don't have full Justiciar on. I only have the legs and the Prey Augury because I'm only taking one hit. The meleer is safe spotted. This meleer is safe spotted. It's only this mage. And The reason why I'm going here is because I want to, I think, lure this mage a little bit closer, but we'll see what I do before I go. And that second barrage did kill it. And you see that I originally was thinking, hey, let's say spot both melees, but then I was like, nah, I can't be bothered to flick these two. When I'm running, that Justiciar is coming on. As you saw, I just equipped it in my inventory on the right side. And the main thing, you might say, hey, Noobscape, why is Justiciar just sitting in your inventory? It's not just sitting in my inventory. I don't use it that often, but the times I use it, it is well worth that one inventory spot just for the extra Justiciar piece, as opposed to bringing a Banos chestplate. And I also don't bring an amulet switch, so that's where that extra spot comes in and makes up for it. When I'm running, that Justiciar is always coming on. And look, you just don't have to worry about taking these damage. That 7 would have been a little bit higher because you have damage reduction with Justiciar, but I don't have to worry about that when I'm wearing it. And now since I switch pillars, and I think switching pillars just gives you such easier solves, this is a much simpler thing because I could kill that range before both meleers dig to me. If you notice, I'm flicking Rigor, and you always want to be flicking Rigor where you want to deal with something immediately. And at this point, I'm just like, come on, kill it, and then switch to melee, and I don't have to worry about these meleers. And that's the easy way of how to solve this. And at this point, you're pretty much going to Zoc. Okay, so this is the last wave I will show for this run, and after this run, I'm actually going to show some tougher waves of a later run. And in this wave, it's the major with 2 ranges. Again, I start with Justiciar, Ancestral. I don't have the Justiciar top on yet. I go for 1 hit. That's only a 26 HP experience drop, so I didn't get a kill here. I'm just, again, 99 HP, you play aggro. I'm going to go for a second barrage on this. Even though it's a later wave and that pillar is junk, it's just, I'm like super high HP. And I see that I didn't get enough experience drop, so I went for 1 more hit. And now I could switch to range. And the 32 now is when I would stop playing aggro. I also needed to restore here, which I noticed too. Now that I'm 67 HP, I don't play aggro because 2 ranger hits at that HP might be lethal. So this would play a little bit less aggro, but I don't need them anyway because the nibblers are already dead. So then this is an easier solve from here. Again, using this corner safe spot is very important when killing that major. So now I'm going to show just some of the tough waves I had from a different run because I feel like it's important to show some bad spawns or some times where I make some bad decisions, and then I show you how I use Justiciar to recover from them. And this is a great example of them. This is starting on wave 52, so I just started with majors and rangers. Now I'm using, the same method I always use to start. I tried to barrage the middle nibblers, and I noticed I only got a 13 experience drop, and I got hit to 20. So now this is an issue because I need to run, and I didn't choose to run with Justiciar, which I should have. And that's going to come to bite me in the butt because I think I take another hit here from 77 HP. Or maybe I don't. But the bottom line is I got hit. I didn't necessarily need to fire the Justiciar on immediately after that first barrage. But this is showing what a Noobscape special in. I put my Justiciar on, I put an SGS spec on, and I just smacked that nibbler. It's probably, I have my Justiciar on, so I'm not really risking taking much damage from 2 bats and a ranger. And even though I did take 2 hits there, like it would have been a lot worse if I didn't have my Justiciar on. But I'm just going at that thing because I'm like, okay, I'm wearing Justiciar, I'm big dicking it. Yeah, I took a 37, but I still got my Justiciar on, so it's no big deal. And this is when you might be thinking, I need a brew, and if you're not too confident with it, yeah, brew. But this time you could know that the ranger won't be able to come all the way over because you could go to the bat safe spot right here, and then you just need to pray mage, which is what I'm gonna do to regenerate my HP, and then you could do a pillar stack solve with just the mage ranger. But I just wanted to show you the Noobscape special, and when you put on your scar and you just SGS spec that thing, and I also wanted to show you like a good time of when to transition pillars and how to deal with a bad nibbler spawn. So I want to show you guys in this wave, I do a lot of tanking and not a lot of flicking. And I noticed that I could pray range immediately because the major's on this side. And I just choose to put my Armadillo on, DPS down the nibblers, and once they're dead using blowpipe, I could take out the bats and then the ranger. And this point, since I'm 63 HP, I'm probably fine. I'm just trying to run towards that ranger to kill it because I'm not going to be flicking the blob either. And you could do some pretty fast damage. I noticed that the blob was over there, so that's why I went to this safe spot, even though I hate doing it and I hate showing you it. Yeah, I guess I do use it sometimes. I've used it a little bit more since I've started watching you guys play, which is one of the advantages of these series is I've actually learned a lot from watching you guys play, so I can only imagine how much you guys have learned from watching me learn about seeing you guys play. I know that sounds weird, but and then this is how you solve it a little bit. But again, Justiciar didn't need to be on when I was doing that. So this is another example of the power of Justiciar. Wave number 56. Same method as always, augury, Justiciar bottom's not the top. I send a shot at 16, that's low, so I know I got like 2 more to kill, maybe even 3. I run on the safe spot anyway to try to reevaluate, and I know that at this point, I'm going to try to just, you know, maybe do one more, and then look at, I put on the Justiciar. Since I know I already did the one hit, just to try to kill it, I put on the Justiciar to try to get over there and take less damage. And I see all this damage I'm taking, and I chose to flick the Justiciar back off and on to do that hit instead of keeping Justiciar on for the mage. Would I have done that in retrospect? No, I probably would have just tried with Justiciar on the flick and hit it. That's up to you, but that's something we all can learn in retrospect. I probably would have just kept the Justiciar on, but the reason I think I took it off was because look at my HP again. You know, this whole review is basically just managing your HP. When I'm 9 HP, I'm gonna do a little bit more aggro, a little bit more risky stuff because I can't afford it. And then I take the hit. I'm 50, 60 HP. Now I'm playing more defensive, and I'm immediately starting to regen my HP. I always start waves with 50% SGS spec in case I need to use one mid wave instead of brewing. That's another tactic I try to doing, but you want to like use your HP regenerative things as much as you can when you take 1 or 2 hits. But before you take those 1 or 2 hits, you want to play a little bit more aggro. I can already see the comments because I've been going to the safe spot so much in this video. I guess maybe looking back on it, we could all improve. And maybe I should have told you guys you could go to the safe spot a little bit more, even though I don't like going to it. The only time I ever do it, look at it, big safe spot, big minion safe spot on this left side, it's the ranger. I could pray mage, I'd put the full Justiciar on and maybe try to like hit it once or twice and run over. In that case, now I realize that the major can be spotted away, and then since the rangers are piled behind the meleeer, I just can pray melee and pretty much just focus that down, or that one can attack me, but this is no big deal. But again, you saw me, I'm still at 88 HP, high HP, go aggro on the nibblers. There's still a few more waves I could keep these HP, these pillars a little bit high, kind of like, you know, like a savings deposit account, and then take that savings deposit account out later for my own safety. But this was kind of an easy solve. So this next wave, you're going to see some running. It's a tough solve. I ran into some issues, and as a result, I got to get going. You know what I mean? So wave 61 spawns in. There's a meleeer over here, which I would have to go down to this safe spot. And the issue is that meleeer, although I could pull it by going all the way over here, this ranger is an issue. It's out of my range. This is tough because I only got a 27 HP drop on the nibblers, so I'm going to need at least one more cast, and there's some big damage incoming. So in this case, my first response is to go to this safe spot. Maybe think about going on here. Maybe think about putting my Justiciar on, but you'll see what I do. 99 HP, I go for another barrage because I can, but I got hit 47. That means that I'm brewing. You notice that I brew, and the Justiciar is coming on. And then I decided to transition pillars. I actually noticed now that my Justiciar legs weren't on, which is why I potentially took that damage. I actually think I thought I meant to put these on, but I just probably misclicked. In that situation, my Justiciar should be on, and I brewed because of it. Going back a little bit, this was a good decision I did to go around here and move, but my Justiciar just should have been on. I could have avoided a few hits, potentially. And you notice that those nibblers did end up dying, which is actually lucky, but even if those nibblers didn't die, I would have made the same decision, put on full Justiciar. Again, I accidentally left my legs in my inventory, huge mistake. That Justiciar should have been on, I should have ran all the way around. And even if these nibblers were still here, this late of a wave, don't worry about those nibblers. You got to kill this blob, and then you're probably going to want to pray melee here and just tank that melee and heal as much as you can off these minions before you move to kill the next. This is another tough spawn because I didn't get the instant kill on the nibblers, but I did get a freeze on a bat. At this point, I'm taking a decent amount of damage because there's nothing, I really can't safe spot all of these at any point. So when you're like, that's not really that great, that's not really that great, because Amelia, you know, that's not great because everything, you just run pillars. And as you're running pillars, you do like a little drive-by hit or two, but the Justiciar's probably doesn't need to be on at this moment because I'm 92 and I'm trying to just go for the kills on the nibblers, like please, please, please. I actually choose to put the full Justiciar on now, and I went for the one nibbler with full Justiciar on, and I'm still wearing full Justiciar attacking the nibbler because at this point I don't really want to risk taking that much damage, and it worked. See, full Justiciar on isn't necessarily mean you're going to hit a 0 every time, it's just that you're less likely. I took the chance of being a little bit less likely to hit those nibblers because I wanted the full Justiciar on to ensure my safety. These late waves, and look how much HP that pillar has. It's good enough HP for wave 62. I do kind of want to kill the nibblers, but I want to stay at high HP. When I put Justiciar on, I really don't need to worry about my HP, especially when I'm running. And I'm always running with that augury on because it increases my defense as well as my attack when I tried attacking that with mage. And then this is a simpler spawn, all because I just transitioned safe spots because I looked around, nothing's really that great. Try to damage the nibblers once or twice, reevaluate putting on your Justiciar based on your HP level, and then get to a safe spot. So this is another tough one. Of this other run, this is the most difficult wave 63. So wave 63 is difficult. I only got a 35 experience barrage drop on those nibblers, which means I'm looking for another hit. Nothing's great down here because I unfortunately have a melee on me, and this isn't really the best decision. So I decided to run over here. I put my Justiciar on, I put my SGS on, and I give it the Noobscape special as I'm running to the other pillar. And that's so important because it's only one nibbler. I'm pretty likely to hit it. I could have actually spec'd it and gained back my own HP, but I'm much more likely. I want to look at it one more time in that decision. I immediately go to safe spot, then I'm like, okay, one's left. Nothing's really great here. Justiciar on immediately. You could SGS spec it on your way over because you're running that way anyway. You might as well just give it, one hit. It's like an extra 1 tick of running, but you're wearing Justiciar. You're not really risking taking that much damage from just 2 blobs in a range. This is why Justiciar is so important. And when you're running over, you might as well just hit it on the way with SGS. And then you kill the blob. It's easy solve. And then obviously this wave's kind of easy because I had, range major both spawned on that side, no threat, when I just have the 2 melees and the nibblers all within this 3 tile range. So it's just pray melee, go over here, kill the nibblers, and then easy days, you know what I mean? Well guys, that's all we got for this video. I really hope you guys learned. I'm just going to post the most difficult basically of these 2 attempts, all the waves, and my method of how I solve them. And I really hope that you guys learned something on how to use Justiciar the right way. I did it again on my part 1 guide for the Inferno, how to use Justiciar, and all the prioritized laid out on how you guys should be, what you're focusing on first, where you're doing, and your method of thinking. I'm just showing you examples of how I use that method of thinking. But the most important thing is you do it once, you barrage once, Justiciar bottoms on. You don't need the top. You can put your ancestral top, rigor on, or augury on. Just do one hit and then immediately get to a safe spot, reevaluate. And whenever you're running, please put on the Justiciar. Justiciar always on when you're running, but you don't need it on if you're trying to damage. And that's the most important balance between Justiciar, is finding the balance between damage and safety. And somewhere on that line, when you're managing your HP, when your HP is high, you go more damage. And when your HP is low, you go more safety. And I really hope you guys get that. And I absolutely love talking to you guys through the Discord again. Join our Discord. I can't wait to talk to you guys there. I hope you guys submit your clips and have a great day. See you guys later.